Hey guys, this is the Rant Kid here, and today I'm going to be doing a rant on Black Friday. And I haven't done a rant in almost a month or 2 months, and that's the longest I've ever stopped ranting. Because the last rant that I did was on that stupid Nene dance, I think. Yeah. So, anyways, let's get started. Now, Black Friday is the day where people get to buy cheap stuff, like basically the stuff that they'll just get on the regular, obviously. And you do have two sides of people. Well, make that three almost. You'll have one side that will just wait in line, and then as soon as they get into the stores, they'll just shop casually. And then the other side, you have the morons or the ghetto people or any other types of people that will fight their way to get stuff. Like they'll literally get into physical fights with somebody just so they can get a piece of hardware, appliances, electronics, anything. And I mean anything, whether it be for a good reason or bad reason. I don't know. And then you have another side of people that will literally kill somebody over maybe maybe a microwave, a toy, a PlayStation. They'll kill each other for any dumb reason. Now, I never really liked Black Friday. I mean, I like the fact that maybe people can buy stuff cheap, I guess. But I just don't like the fact that there's actually people out there that literally fights over stuff that they can buy. You don't need to like what have this sort of conflict with people just so you can buy something. Hell, there will literally be people that will fight over a case of Lipton teas and stuff. They'll maybe fight somebody over this, kill somebody over that. They'll just do anything, even clothes. And for some people that really isn't that financially stable, they'll even steal fake stuff. I would be I'd be damned if they didn't even steal fake joints. I really would. But back on track. I'm just saying that Black Friday is just the most dumbest thing. And the fact that there's really a death count is just so embarrassing. I mean, it's basically just when I hear this stuff, it just makes me think that what is humanity really de-evolutionizing, or that's a word, I don't know how to put it. But just thinking that it's just dumbing down. I mean, it's bad enough you got idiots on Tumblr and you got the social justice warriors, and now you have idiots on Black Friday that are fighting for stuff that they can buy at any time. And like I said again, it's not everybody. It's just a percentage of idiots that are fighting or killing each other over stuff that they can buy on any day. And there's even people that will do this stuff just so they can put this one thing on layaway. Can't you just wait till they restock a PlayStation, clothes, anything? Because there is such a thing as restocking items, just so they can be available again. There's such a thing as that. You don't need to sock somebody in the eye just to get the PS4, and you don't need to fight somebody for an Xbox One or anything. Like, literally, this is just stupid, man. I mean, this is just the dumbest day in the world. Got people fighting for dumb stuff. There's even people that will steal from each other on Black Friday. That's another part of people on Black Friday. Like the part where people will steal stuff, whether it be from grown ups, children, and teenagers. They'll steal anything. These kinds of people will steal anything on Black Friday. I mean, I just really, really hate this time of year when Black Friday comes around. Like it's just the dumbest thing, and I can imagine how many people will freak out or just get angry and stuff, or probably protest, aka riot, over Black Friday, if it were to be, stopped or abolished or anything of that nature where Black Friday is no more. I can imagine people freaking out about that. And I really haven't heard anything about somebody like what? Hurting each other on Cyber Monday. I mean, I think it was, and if it was, comment that in the description box, I mean, in the comment section below. But I just really can't stand Black Friday. It's just so annoying. I hate it when people kill each other or fight each other or steal from each other over a day where they can buy cheap stuff, well, stuff at a cheaper price. I mean, it's just ludicrous. That's all it is. It's just completely ludicrous. So to sum it all up, I can't stand Black Friday, and I never liked it, and I never will, because it's just the dumbest holiday or any day or whatever it is. It's just it's just retarded to me, and I'm sorry for the use of the word retarded. So, anyways, this is the Rant Kid here, and I'll make a new video whenever I feel like it. I mean, you already know how I do, and peace out. Hey guys, this is the Rant Kid here. And no, this rant isn't me returning as the Rant Kid that much. It's just something that I want to get out of there. I mean, just get off my system and shit. So, anyways, this is going to be a rant on the Nene, which is going to be both the song and the dance, which I really hate. So, anyway, I'll just start with the song. So, basically, the song was made by some jackass named Silento or Silentio. I don't know. Yeah, Silento or something. Yeah, that's the dude's name. So basically, the song was made, I think, last year or this year or whenever it was made. It was made somewhere between last year and this year, and that song has gotten so popular, just so fucking popular. It's like what 200 million something views on the music video on YouTube, and I think that it's even more than that because the song has just skyrocketed to popularity because it used to kind of be a thing in 2014, and then up until this year, somehow people started to listen to it more and more and more, and now I think it's kind of diminishing in its popularity or something. I don't know. I mean, it's somewhere. But the song is just as worse as the dance. I mean, I'm not even going to give you an example of the song, but if you haven't heard the song, just don't even listen to it. And if you have, I'm sorry that the song made your ears bleed or just gave you some form of cancer or just did something bad to you. I mean, just the dance alone, just the dance is just annoying. Like literally, the dance is just so retarded. Like out of anything to come out of this generation, or just to come out of really anything or any time period, the Nene is just the dumbest things, and it's not as dumb as the Kylie Jenner lip challenge back a couple months ago. It's not as dumb as that. It's just as dumb as Christian. Yeah, I couldn't really think anything else that's dumber than the Nene, but just the whole song and dance is just annoying. Just everybody is doing the dance. Ghetto people are doing the dance. White moms are doing the dance. Let's see. I guess probably, I don't know, just everybody's doing the damn dance. I mean, it's just so hard to count. Just everybody was just doing it. I mean, this dance is just, oh my god. And you know that this song a plays somewhat of a strong role in just the whole ghetto culture or whatever of today. And then there's some people out there that will defend it even though they don't even do the Nene or even listen to the song, which is just stupid. Yeah, like people like that will get mad if you say something bad about it. And it's true. I mean, the song and the dance is just utterly retarded. And I'm sorry for the use of the word retarded. But just it's just the dumbest thing ever. I mean, the song is trash, and the nigga that made it is just why? Never in my life I heard a song this shitty. I mean, it's almost as shittier than Fancy by Iggy Azalea, or at least shittier than One Direction's whole discography. I don't know, but just to wrap this video up, I honestly just think that the Nay Nay is just fucking stupid, both the song and the dance, but mainly the dance, because there'll just be a lot of people like what in schools and stuff that does the nay nay and stuff, and it's just annoying. They'll do it in fucking hallways, hell, even bathrooms, or even the classroom. What the fuck? This dance has really gotten that annoying, and it. Oh my god. This. Fuck. There's just nothing else I can say about it. The only thing I can say is that it's just a headache. Just the song is just a migraine. It's more annoying than Pharrell Williams' Happy. It's more annoying than that song Happy. And trust me, and trust me, I will be so happy when that song is not popular anymore, because now it's kind of diminishing in its popularity, like I said earlier. So thank God for that. So, anyways, this is the Rant Kid here. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share this video with your friends, and check out my other videos. A new video will be uploaded whenever I get the chance to. I don't know. And peace out. Hey guys, this is the Rant Kid here. And I'm sorry I haven't uploaded in like what? A week, because I've been busy with school and I have been drawing a little bit. The example would be this okay-ish album cover. A little back. Okay, so anyways, this is gonna be my rant on catfishing. Now, I'm pretty sure that everybody out here in this generation pretty much knows what catfishing is, so I'm not really gonna go into detail about explaining it. And if you do want me to explain it, I explained it in the first part, because this is part 2, obviously. So if you want to watch the first part before this video, make sure you check it out in the description box below. Then watch this one. Or just do whatever, I don't know. But anyways, just catfishing is just the dumbest thing to do. And it's also a reason why I don't really trust online dating and stuff. Like, that just gives me trust issues about it. And I don't even date on the internet. Like, I'd rather have somebody, in the real, instead of just someone virtual or over Skype. Like, Skype or Snapchat, it won't make it any better. Neither will Kick or anything else. It just won't make it better or satisfying at all. But back to what back to the subject at hand. Sorry. So catfishing is just this thing that's kind of new, really, because there has been some reports in the past about people getting tricked and all that stuff. But the only difference is that nowadays it's just a word for it now. That's just the different part about it. And it's just so wrong to trick somebody. Like, if you're in a relationship with somebody over the internet and stuff, if you want to or something, you just gotta tell them your real information. You just got to, like, that means real age, phone number, address, anything. If the partner is asking for it, or like what, asking you where do you live and all that stuff, they're asking you that type of shit, then give them your real shit. Don't lie and just make up something while you're in that relationship with somebody, because that's just stupid. And there's been way too many, like what, people that's been getting catfished, and this is proven by that show MTV's Catfish. And I do think that some people out there think that it's fake, and to me, I don't think it is. But anyways, but just thank God that there's actually a show on MTV that can really show people the risk of, like what, dating online, or if the person could be lying, because you never really know. And since this is the internet, anybody can fake their identity easily, depending upon how they do it and how they could present it, or just anything of that nature. But just catfishing is just ridiculous, man. I mean, why would you want to lie to somebody that you love online and they'll give you, I mean, it's just stupid. You're dating somebody that's giving you their real information and you're just sitting there giving them fake stuff. Like, that's dishonest, is all hell. That's just so damn dishonest, man. and and I'm not going to sit here and say that it's just guys that catfish. It's girls too, because you got certain girls out there that do catfish, that has like what, that they steal photos from Instagram or just some shitty Tumblr blog from 2012. I don't know. Like they'll still. I mean, yeah, like they'll go to one of those stupid ass Tumblr blogs that always post girls and stuff and pull up like what, loads and loads of pictures of them, of like what, those girls on there, and saying that it's them when it's not. Like they'll do that shit, and especially guys too. They'll do that shit too. They'll either steal somebody's photos from Facebook or Twitter or anything else like that. They'll try to find any way they can to lie to a female about their appearance instead of being self-confident within themselves. Like just the whole thing of catfishing just makes me laugh at how ridiculous these people are. Like they're just sitting up there lying, like just bold-faced lying in the relationship instead of just being honest. And matter of fact, the people who do catfish are just really stupid. Like, what's the point of tricking somebody online about who you are when you're dating them? Hell, you might as well just date on, like, in the real. I mean, like, you might as well just like what, date in real life instead of just online. It's ridiculous to do that stuff online, and they mainly do this because they know that on the internet they can lie easily. They can lie easily about their information and stuff. But in the real world, they can't get that much as far as people think that they can, or how much they think they can. I mean, yeah, you can still, yeah, you can lie about yourself in the real world, but just not at that certain degree as people that catfish. Just not at that, degree or minimum or something. And it's just very sad. Like catfishing is just the dumbest thing anybody can do. Now, if now this is just for the people that are dating online and stuff. And just remember, I don't date online. I don't do that sad shit. But for those of you who do date online, you really have to make sure that that person that you're dating or starting to date is really telling the truth. Or you can tell if they're lying about themselves if you say, hey, let's go on Skype. Hey, where's your Snapchat or where's your Kick? And then if they don't give you anything or they make up tons and tons of excuses as you ask them a lot, that means it's not them. If they send a little picture, like if it's a girl and they send this hot picture of like a girl and stuff saying that it's them, and then like what? As soon as you tell them like what, hey, let's go on Skype, and then they just make up the excuses like their camera's broken or they're out of town or they're on their phone or any dumb stuff like that, then that kind of proves that that person is plain catfishing you. They're just lying about themselves. Because once again, I'll just say this one more time. I mean, it's the internet, and anybody can easily lie about themselves more than they can in real life. It's just that it's easier online at some degree. It is, and it's just still pathetic, really. Like that shit is just pathetic. Why are you tricking your spouse online about who you are instead of being honest with them? And yet you're telling them that honesty is the best policy and all that shit. You're telling them all that, but yet you're not living up to it. You're not practicing what you preach. And I hate niggas that don't practice what they preach. I hate that. Just I really hate it when they do that. But to sum this video all up, I'm just going to say that catfishing is retarded. And if you're somebody that's catfishing somebody, please stop. Just fucking stop. You're not making yourself the bigger person. You're just making yourself the bigger idiot of the relationship, I mean. So, anyways, this is the Rant Kid here. A new video will come up whenever, and I might do a rant on Nicole Arbor. I heard a lot about that insensitive, fat shaming bitch. So, peace out. Hey guys, this is the Rank Kid here, and if you're wondering if this is the new look again, yes, I'm making this the new look from that one because I kind of like it really. Even if I take pictures of it, and I don't think that I might do so. I did 2 pictures, but whatever. So, anyways, this is going to be my remake on Class Clowns because I originally did a rant on Class Clowns on my second channel. It'll be in the description box below. Check out that video and subscribe to the second channel and the third one too. So yeah, so Class Clowns. Class clowns are basically like what? A type of kid that likes to joke around in school and goof off. And he's usually, I mean, he's like what? Usually a smart or dumb kid. Now, most of the times it can be somebody who's smart. Like some class clowns out there in this world are pretty intelligent, but they're just scared to just show off their intelligence in front of everybody. But instead, but instead of them wanting to show their book smarts in school, they just want to show their street smarts or like anything that's from like what the ghetto and stuff because they just like what they have a shell over them protecting the intelligence that they have. I mean, they're just putting themselves in a shell and they need to break out of it. I mean, there's no need to hide your intelligence. Like, you shouldn't, nobody should hide their intelligence. I mean, that's what the world needs. Like, what? More and more and more smart people, which it does. But I digress. But for the ones out there, like the class clowns who really are just stupid and legitimately does not care about his or her future, yeah, those ones are just way worse. And I even had a friend, and he was basically a class clown. He was a little bit of both. He was a smart one and a dumb one. He was just but like both. I don't know how that works, but he was just like both and stuff. And he seemed like the type of kid that could get like fairly good grades, but he wanted to be like everybody else because everybody called me and my friends nerds. So he thought that, oh, if he would like what follow the pack, then maybe he'd be accepted. And I even talked about like what followers and stuff too. I just hate that shit. But anyways, I just really can't stand class clowns because all they do is just hold the teacher up and just disrupt the teacher at any time. And they really think that them goofing off in school is really going to get them anywhere. and and also some of them like to make fun of homeless people because a lot of them are complete assholes and makes fun of people who are homeless, but yet the next homeless person that they riff on in the streets, it's basically a reflection of what their future is going to look like. They're going to be that homeless person getting humiliated by the kids who's just going to follow in his shoes. And it's just so sad and ironic when that happens. That is the true definition of karma and irony. Honestly, that's irony and karma at its best. It's just so funny when that happens because they always want to make fun of somebody, especially class clowns who make fun of nerds too. While the nerds are just going basically just going to be like what well-paid people climbing up the corporate ladder, while the class clown is basically just going to be dumpster diving and looking for tuna and half-eaten burgers and table scraps and all that stuff. So the joke will be on them later on in life. But once again, I digress. And they're just like what? So arrogant because they really can't break out of their hiding the intelligent shell. They just can't break out of it. And it's just very sad. I mean, once again, it's just really sad, but kind of funny a little bit at the same time. I don't know how, but it just is to me. And I'm not gonna lie that the kid that I was that the kid I'm friends with, who is a class clown, he's pretty funny, but I hope that he'll change his ways because not enough class clowns out there will change their ways, because there are a lot of them that do change their way. Like they start, like doing better in their classes. They start excelling. Their future gets brighter and brighter each time. While there's just some out there who won't break out of that shell, and they can't have the courage or the balls enough to repent on what they do. And once again, that's just sad. And yeah, I guess it's like what all I gotta say for now, really. And it's just honestly not much I can really say about them, because what they do is pretty much a mouthful, or probably just more stuff that I could talk about in a video that could be like what 15, 16 minutes, but no, just no. So in a nutshell, class clowns are basically people who may or may not change their ways and will end up in the gutter or end up going up the corporate ladder, either like what either which way, or judging by the backgrounds of the people. And yeah, so this is the Rant Kid here, and video two is going to be uploaded after this one. And peace. Hey guys, this is the Rant Kid here, and today I'm here to talk about the misconceptions of metalheads. Now, since we live in society, almost everybody in society thinks that metalheads are nothing but a bunch of angry, satanic people who scream a lot and all this other stuff, saying that they kill people, sacrifice virgins and stuff, which is the biggest false conception of a metalhead anybody can gather. And a lot of people like to think that metalheads are basically just a bunch of angry drunks, like people get drunk 24/7, which is false. Because, okay, maybe there are some metalheads out there who are heavy drinkers, while there's a lot of them who don't even drink or basically just straight edge. There's nothing wrong with to be straight edge, by the way. And yeah, and here's one misconception. Here's the first one. The first one is that a lot of people think that metalheads are satanic. Now, I just need to get to the bottom of this whole metalheads are Satanist bullcrap. Look, if there is a metalhead out there who is a Satanist, then that's just them. Whether they be a Levian Satanist or any other type of Satanist, they don't they don't scribble 666 and put inverted crosses and stuff all over the walls and all over their bodies and stuff. They don't do that. I just have to say this again. They're just regular people like you and me, and nothing more. It's not anything that serious. But to the rest of society, everybody just thinks his metalheads is just angry satanic drunks who do nothing but kill people and rape, which is very false. Because I have not met one metalhead or even heard of one that has done so. And I think the reason why is because there has been people out there in the past who has listened to metal or maybe just one song by a band like Slayer, and because it was like a report where one kid, he was a fan of Slayer way back in the 90s, that he killed this girl, and they blamed the metal music. And now I think ever since then and before and after that, people label metalheads as Satanists, which is false. And the second one I have to say, like the second misconception is that people who think that all metalheads are drug addicts and heavy drinkers. Now, once again, I have to say, not every single one of them is. Just because you might see a few or a small majority of metalheads who, like, who do drugs or drink, to me, I think that it could be a small percentage in my opinion, but I know that a large percentage of them don't and stuff, because that stuff is just so stupid. And there is metalheads out there who are straight edge like me. I've never done drugs and alcohol in my life, and I never will, because it's just for pussies. So yeah. And the third one is that all metalheads can be neglectful parents. Now that one is just false to me, because I like have been in tons of metal groups on Facebook and has seen a lot of happy parents just try to get their little kids in the bands like Pantera, Cannibal Corpse, Deicide, 6 Feet Under, try to get them into like metal bands like that. And they don't neglect their kids. They don't beat their kids and stuff like they don't like it's not no domestic violence type crap. They don't make their kids worship the devil. It's not anything of that nature because what parent would force their kid on Satanism or even occultism in general, any other type of religion or philosophy? I don't know, but honestly, that one is very, very false, and I really hate that one. And the fourth one is that all metalheads are killers. What? Let me address this one. Now the part about people saying that that all metalheads are killers, that's another false statement or a false misconception or a conception, I mean, is that people think that all metalheads are killers. They are not killers, okay? Metalheads aren't killers. I think it was one back in the 90s and stuff. And yeah, like it was one metalhead back in the 90s who killed this girl. I'm pretty sure some of you who grew up in 90s, like 95, 96, have heard about it, so you probably already know. But listen, just because you might see somebody who who does that and stuff, doesn't mean that you should just label all metalheads as serial killers and stuff. And even if that was true, I'm pretty sure that metal music will probably be illegal here, or I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that if all metalheads were killers, then I'm pretty sure that metal would be banned in America and all over. I guess this is just a guess of mine. I don't know. Not anybody that big, but yeah. And let me see. Oh yeah, and another one about it, like that I had to say again is let's see, people who think oh yeah, and number five, people who think that metalheads are nothing but a bunch of elitists who calls anybody a poser for not listening to the same like types of metal as they do or all metal that they listen to in general. Now this one is false because I do know some people on like online and stuff who hate like genres like deathcore and metalcore, and that's fine because it's their opinion. But it's not all of them. It's basically just certain ones out there who we call in the metal community as metal elitists, like the people who think that metal died in 1989, like after 1989 metal was dead. Those are the types of metalheads or metal elitists out there who are in the metal community and shouldn't even be there. And another one is number six, that all metalheads send death threats. No, 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 no. Like not every metalhead sends death threats. Hell, I don't even know any metalhead that I know or friends or is friends with online on Facebook or maybe even in real life has done this stuff, and it's just pretty false. I mean, oh my god, I hate it when people have these misconceptions about them. Honestly, it's just so stupid. You can't just classify this one group of fans of a certain genre as this thing, even though it's not true. I mean, it's pathetic. And just oh god. Oh yeah, and okay, since we got six down, let's do one more. Number seven. This one just gets on my nerves. All metalheads are angry white boys. Now this one is just so stupid because I believe that anybody of any race, whether they be Jamaican, Hispanic, white, or black like me, can be a metalhead. It's not always like white people and stuff because that's what people always say that all white people listen to metal. That is just a stupid stereotype because this is just ridiculous. I mean, look at Ice-T, the rapper. He was in Body Count. He was in a metal band, even though everybody knows him as a rapper. He was in a metal band, and not many people judged him about that because he was black and he liked metal. I'm assuming because hell, he was in a metal band and just all that stuff. I mean, look at me. I'm black and I like metal. I mean, do you really think that me being black is gonna, stop me from listening to all metal music? No, hell no. It's not gonna stop me. I don't care whether I'm dying, at old age or in a bad critical condition. I will always be a metalhead, regardless of what anybody says. Even if somebody in school would try to classify me as a white boy for listening to metal, it really wouldn't mean nothing to me. It wouldn't mean shit to me because basically it's just music. Why do we need to classify? Oh, sorry. Like, why do we need to classify a genre of music by like what people should listen to? Like, why should people think that a certain race has to listen to this type of music? I mean, you have white people that listen to hip hop. I mean, either way, and it's even rap metal. Like, because rap metal and stuff, that stuff is in Limp Bizkit. They rap, and it's just basically rap and metal combined. So you just can't always have that type of like misconception about it. And honestly, when people just keep saying that people who listen to metal are angry white kids, that's not as true as many of you think it is. To me, it's 30% true, but not the full 100. It's 30%, but not the full 100. Remember that. So, yeah, so I'm going to wrap this video up by saying that you shouldn't have some quick misconceptions of a metalhead if you've never talked to them, never been a friend of a metalhead, or is even wanted to like be one like a friend of yours that could be a metalhead. And yeah, and I'm gonna get down to number 8 real quick. And people who think that, oh yeah, and the eighth misconception is that people think that all metalheads scream all the time. No, just no. So anyway, this is the Rant Kid here. I'm going to make my second video, which will be my second and final video for today. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment, check out my other videos, share them with friends, and peace out. And if you're a metalhead, keep thrashing. Hey guys, this is the Rant Kid here, and today I'm going to be doing a rant on deadbeat moms. Now, basically, what a deadbeat mom is basically a mother who is worse than a deadbeat dad because she cares more about herself and the numerous guys that she sleeps with more than her own kid and only calls their kid on Wednesday nights mainly and basically they're just stuck up and narcissistic and just liars and they dodge child support any chance they get. Whenever they see a child support thing you gotta pay for, they just dodge it. They just like completely dodge it. As soon as it's just going right at them, they just dodge it like that. They just dodge the shit. They don't even want to pay for it, but yet they'll pay for a new Gucci bag or these or like some stupid Yankee Doodle candle, whatever they're called, or just stupid shoes or dresses, anything like that. They care about themselves more than their own kids, which is just pathetic because you're supposed to put the child first and you, the parent, last. Because the child is the most important thing in your life to me. Well, I mean, come on now. And and it's just so sad that there's a lot of deadbeat moms out there who basically just like there are a lot of them who like they get child support checks and then they spend them on frivolous things like let's see, 95% of that check is spent on mostly the moms just for them, while 10-15% are spent on the child, leaving the child with less and him or her being miserable or having a not so happy childhood, which everybody should be able to have a happy childhood, not just this dark one. But deadbeat moms are the main cause. And I know that some people are going to say, I know that some people are going to say, "Hey, what about dads? What about deadbeat dads? They're worser." Yes, I know deadbeat dads are worser, but deadbeat moms are much more scumbags. And yes, I'll do a rant on deadbeat dads whenever I get to. And basically basically a deadbeat mom or deadbeat moms in general won't even be there to help raise the kid, leaving the father, the grandmother, or the uncle or any other family member to do her dirty work while she's out there just hoeing it up with other guys that the child has to constantly call daddy, or is thinking that that's going to be their new dad or their stepdad. I mean, depends, because they don't know the difference between a responsible mother or a biological mom, because it's just so sad. Like, they're out there buying like different stuff for themselves and not the child, neglecting the child, not even paying attention to them, always worrying about their nails getting done and don't care much about their child. Hey, they don't even show up to a child's graduation like 80% of the time. They won't even be there. Like, maybe they'll be there for one birthday, then come back probably 4 years later. That's just a scumbag thing. Like, honestly, I don't get it about those deadbeat moms. They're worse than deadbeat dads. And and then some people out there, some idiots out there will defend them saying, "Hey, it's her choice to take care of her kid. Hey, sir, so she can either leave or just spend all the child support checks on her and just leave the kid in the dust." No, 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 no. You don't leave a child in the dust if you have to raise them. It's not kids. You see, kids aren't just some coat you want to wear whenever you want to. They're not a coat. Their lives goes on. I mean, their lives go on. You don't neglect them. You're supposed to take care of them. But to deadbeat moms out there, they care little about their child. Or when other people are around, or whenever it's a rare occasion where they have to watch their child, which is very rare, they'll say, "Hey, I love my kid to death. I mean, he or she is the greatest thing in my life. I don't know what I would do without him or her." And we all know what they would do. As soon as the kid would die, when they're still in their childhood, they would spend like all the money saved up in their bank accounts, if children do, or parents do make bank accounts for children. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But anyways, they would spend that money on that dead child and just buy everything else, or even a new car like a Camaro or a Bugatti, well, as if they're that loaded, I guess. And it's just so pathetic, though. Like, why should there even be a thing as deadbeat moms and deadbeat dads in general? But I'm not here to talk about the deadbeat dads. But deadbeat moms are arguably much more, I mean, more scumbags than a deadbeat dad would ever be. And it's just ridiculous, honestly. So I'm just going to wrap this video up by saying I really hate deadbeat moms, and you should too, because it's not right for some parent to ignore their child, or basically just mistreat them or anything else like that, because it's just so pathetic and it's such a scumbag thing to do. And I don't want to hear this whole "it's her choice" bullcrap. I don't want to hear it. That's just a petty excuse. So this is the Rant Kid, and peace out. Hey guys, this is the Rant Kid here. Today's my second and final video for today, and now I'm going to be on the topic of popular kids. Now, we all know about popular kids and stuff. You know, they're always buying the latest clothes or doing the latest trend. Their parents give them everything they want and spoil them while they're getting bad grades and stuff, and are always being the so-called edgy rebels and stuff, or has this big status in school or reputation that they don't even deserve or shouldn't have, because school is school. There's no such thing as dominance in a school because you're just a kid, you don't own shit. So that's basically what a popular kid really is, in my own words, and probably some other people's words if they describe it like that. But my biggest complaint about popular kids is that they're always picking on quote unquote losers or unpopular kids or nerds. Now, let me just touch on that subject for a minute. Just because somebody is a so-called unpopular kid or a nerd doesn't mean that you should just look down on them and treat them like utter shit just because they don't participate in any of the dumb rebellious shit that popular kids like to engage in. Especially popular girls will do that to like a nerdy guy and stuff, because basically she's just some slut who basically just sends her nudes to any guy she meets or dates a guy with the brain with the brain of the average eagle. Yes, they'll date guys like that. Like popular girls will date guys like that, and popular boys will date girls with the brain slash attention span of the average earthworm. If a earthworm has a fucking attention span, I don't know, but yeah, that's what they'll do. And I honestly hate it when popular kids just bash on somebody for being a nerd. Because let me just tell you this: the so-called nerd that you're picking on could be the future mayor, governor, senator, capitalist, or Republican in the future, while the popular kids will just sit there and be these minimum wage workers who always bragged about these dreams they were going to have like when they were finished with school, but they didn't really know until later on in life that those are just shitty pipe dreams. Now, this has been like proven so many times in people's lives and stuff because popular kids, they're only the quote unquote shit when they're only in school, but after school they're literally not worth shit after school, and it's just so sad. There's no reason to pick on somebody who isn't so-called popular. If they're not popular, then let it go. They're just normal people just going about their lives in school, trying to pass, or just dealing with everything else that people deal with in school. They're not trying to be popular. They don't care about fads. They don't give a shit about, looks and stuff, or obsessed with celebrities and glamour and stuff, because I'm basically one of those so-called unpopular kids and nerds. Because everybody is always labeled me and my friends that, while my friends, like I think two or three of them, tried to be like them and stuff. They tried to be one of those ghetto popular kids. They tried to be like that, but nevertheless, they weren't popular and probably never will be. So I hope they cut it out. But me, on the other hand, I was always labeled as one because I didn't want to, be a part of any trend or follow up what they did or have the newest clothes and stuff, because none of that shit matters to me. I can really give a fuck less about any trend. I can really give a shit less. Hell, even I can even care less about the popular kids in general, because all they are is just failures, and they just love taking the easy way out in life, especially when it comes to in school. They'll take the easy way out in school by trying to get a so-called nerd to, you know, give them the answers and stuff because, their brains are just so small. It's unbelievable. Hell, you need a magnifying glass to even see the shit. But they'll just love talking about somebody like that. And it's funny, really. It's funny how they bash on nerds, but yet they're always coming to them for math class or any other class for answers and stuff. Just come on now. If you can so-called pick on somebody for being a nerd, or if you can pick up on every trend or every shoe brand, then you can do a math problem or even a language arts problem. Because come on now, how tiny is your brain? Just really. And and the main thing that I really dislike about them is how defiant popular kids are, because they just love following behind each other, because most popular kids are followers too. They love following after another popular kid, and plus the so-called popularity that a kid gets will tarnish the friendship they have when they're unpopular and stuff. Because once they build up a reputation of being a popular kid, goes higher and higher, the lower the friendship goes, and they pick other friends who are basically fake. Because let's face it, popular kids are the most fakest ones out there. They're just so fake. They're just imitations. They're just a copy of an imitation, trying to be an imitation, to want to be an imitation. If that makes sense to you, that is, does to me. But they're honestly the most fakest kids of all. They're just the most fakest types of people you will meet in school, mostly, because they're only in school. You're never going to hear somebody in your adulthood being popular and stuff if that's just a celebrity. But not anywhere else really. And it's really not going to go away because podcasts are never going to go away because they have a whole bunch of friends who are just fake because they like to go through this wannabe teen Degrassi drama bullshit in their way that isn't really dramatic in any shape or form or fashion, but to them it means their whole lives because they just love drama. Popular kids love going through drama. They just love to. And you can go on and comment on the video and say, hey, you're just because nobody likes you in school. Or, hey, you're mad because you're not popular and shit. I don't care. I don't want to be popular in school. Hell, popularity doesn't mean shit to me in school. The only thing that really means shit to me in school are my grades and my future, which is supposed to be what everybody in school should give a shit about, but they can care less because popular kids never take shit seriously in school. They just love being defiant. They just love being laughed at and everything else. And even like ghetto popular kids in general, they're much worse and stuff. I've had to deal with them in my old school, so since the new one, I hope I don't have to deal with this in the new one. Because if I do, maybe one day I should just put a gun to my head and blow my fucking brains out if I ever see some more popular kids again. And it's the only way to not see them again. So, with that said, I hate popular kids, and I'm pretty sure you do or you should too, judging by this video. So, anyway, this is the Rant Kid. This is my last video for the day. Like, subscribe, comment, check out my other videos, and peace. What's going on YouTube? This is the Rant Kid here again. This is my second and final video for today. And this is going to be a part 2 video on my Onision rant, which I did last year, I think. Probably last year, a couple months ago, when I still had the mask when it was painted. It still is painted. I mean, it's down there, but whatever. But yeah, Onision. So everybody pretty much knows who Onision is, but if you don't know, I'll sum it up to who he is the best way I can. So Onision is basically this manipulative jerk who basically says that meat eaters are so-called murderers. And just recently, he wrote, sorry, tongue time. He wrote a book called Stones to Abigail, and it's actually one of the worst books anybody has ever read. And that's what the reviews tell me. Hell, you can even watch the video by some guy 827. Make sure you subscribe to him. Even the dude says that it's bad. And it's basically just everything Onision loves to exploit and talk about. And Onision just loves talking about rape, cutters, suicide, emos, and the whole enchilada. This guy loves shock value. And he manipulates everybody. He even manipulated his previous wife, Shiloh, because she tried to get a job. And he said, why can't she just be like this, assistant to his videos and stuff? Then, of course, the stupid girl did it. And the dude basically manipulates girls who are fresh out of high school. Yes, like on their way to college, like just graduating the 12th grade. He loves exploiting those types. And the dude doesn't know, he doesn't know how to take responsibility for his actions, such as killing a turtle. Yes, the dude killed a turtle and he ran over a deer and then he blames the deer. Now, everybody knows that the guy can't take up for his own actions and stuff. The dude can't be responsible. And what's scary about him lacking any responsibility for his actions is that the guy brought a kid into the world. Yes, he has brought in the spawn of Satan in this world. So don't even call Ozzy Osbourne the ultimate sin. Call Onision the ultimate sin. And his fan base is worse than PewDiePie's. And when I say worse, they're worse than PewDiePie's or Markiplier's. No offense to Markiplier fans, because I'm pretty sure none of you do what everybody says you do. But back to the subject. This guy just loves exploiting cutters. He's made so much videos on it, especially especially on his Onision Speaks channel. He has done a lot of videos on cutters. and a lot of them which he took down and uploaded onto his stupid Onision Archive channel, which I wouldn't check out because it's basically just worse older content than his so-called newer ones. Now, I'm Nimin. I used to be a fan of this guy for only I used to be a fan of this guy from July to December 2014 until I finally realized that the dude is just some sociopathic prick. And basically when it comes to him talking about women that are against feminism, he honestly doesn't know what he's talking about. And you can even see that in the official um Ghost and the Guitarist thing, like the official GATG. His channel will be in the description below. Subscribe to him. Even he has done videos on him. And Onision doesn't even know anything about gun laws in general, too. And I also like to point out the fact that the guy just, oh my god. And he even made one video on his Uh-Oh Bro channel that was so sick. A 9/11 fail video. Yes, this bastard did a 9/11 fail video. That's going to be in the link in the description too. This guy profited off a worldwide, well, basically a well-known tragedy. Yes, he profited off of 9/11 and joked about it. Yes, and his fan base defends him every time he does something cancerous. Every time he does this one fuck up, they always defend this guy and always shower him with like compliments, saying, "Oh my god, he's so cute. He's just shaking," because his demographic is basically idiot emo girls who are probably 13 to 16 and will probably never get out of the little so-called emo-ish phase because it's just a white girl thing. Not trying to be racist because it really is just a white girl thing. I mean, I'm telling the truth, it is. But yeah, and honestly, the dude just hates meat eaters, and he's always saying, "Hey, people who eat meat are murderers." You can't be a murderer for eating meat because you do need to eat meat to live. This dude is a even dumber preachy vegan than Freely the Banana Girl, and Freely Banana Girl is basically worse than him. I might add at veganism, and also I think at one point that little faggot Onision tried to start his own religion. Yes, his own religion. Ugh. Imagine if it actually succeeded. And plus, the dude. Sorry. And plus, and let me get back on the subject about his book. His book, oh god, it's like a pretentious, no, it's like an overly pretentious 17-year-old emo kid who's basically an outcast to everybody, even by his own parents, and he thinks that he knows this shit. That is the mindset of the book, and basically the book is basically about some stupid kid with this astronomical god complex who thinks that everything around him is just some stereotype that you see in all those dumb high school movies. And he does everything he can to get into the pants of this girl called Abigail, who has been, let's see, the girl is 15 years old in the book, and she's been basically raped and abused at 15, and even gang rape. Yes, all of this stuff is basically what the dude talks about, and he claims that the book is so-called what describes him. So yes, you can tell by just reading the book about what type of sick, twisted person he is. And it doesn't make no sense. And honestly, this dude is just so bad. He even debated a sock. Yes, it was his so-called little satire on Mr. Repsion called Mr. Rep Sock. I don't know what it was called. I think it was, but oh god. And about Shiloh again. Oh yeah, and if you are an Onision fan, let me just ask you this. So you think that he's a good guy because he made a video showing his previous ex having a mental breakdown and not helping her at all whatsoever, and profiting off of her having a mental breakdown. You think he's a good guy? You really think that she was just acting? No, she wasn't acting. She was really having a mental breakdown. And to top it all off, she forgot 3 years of her life with him. And thank God, because I feel so sorry for her. I don't know what she does. Her activities are basically just unknown or whatever, just idle. I don't know because I just showed up late about this stuff. But just, oh my God, he's the worst person you can ever imagine. Hell, he even compares him having to pay Shiloh like alimony. He compares alimony to slavery. And when I mean slavery, I'm talking about like what black slavery. He compares it to that, saying, "Hey, slaves had free warm meals and free beds." No, no, they were whipped constantly. They were whipped and killed. And they risked their lives to escape so we can get the freedom that we have. It took a lot. So I don't think that comparing alimony to slavery is dumb. I mean, what next? Are you going to compare welfare to 401ks, asshole? This dude is basically worse than let's see. He's worse than Pat Robertson. And thank God the dude isn't one of those stupid conservative Christians, because that would make his ego way worse. And the dude has a massive ego. His ego is basically much bigger than Jesus. His ego. Don't mean to pull a John Lennon by saying that, if you know what I'm saying. But honestly, this dude is just so bad. Just so bad. Just watch so much videos and you'll know. So this is the Rant Kid. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. New video will be out in a couple days, and fuck Onision and his fans. Hey guys, this is the Rant Kid here. And I'd like to say, well, before I start this video, I'd like to say that I'm out of school. So yes, so expect much more Rant Kid videos, and I'm bringing back the Rant Kid salutes. So please watch that. I mean, give the other shows a chance, but back to the subject. I'm going to be ranting on these so-called real niggas. Now, basically, a so-called real nigga is somebody who basically just gangbangs, not the sexual term, but basically just traps or it's basically just an all-out thug. And basically, the reason why there's just so much more white people saying that he they big, they're making us. I mean, they're making them say all types of negative stuff about us, and it's just so ridiculous. But just all these so-called, I don't know, these so-called real niggas, they really can care less about their race being discriminated once more. They just really love feeding into the hands of the types of white people who love it when a certain black person acts like a stereotype. They love that. They honestly do, and they're just giving them what they want, which they shouldn't. And most of the times, these so-called real niggas are from basically, some can even start from like what, 7th to the 12th grade. Like, yeah, she even got like what, people who's about to leave middle school all the way up to getting into high school and stuff. And basically they'll try to get along with the older kids who are basically just wasting their lives, just ditching school on the street corners to get high and doing all that stuff, or beating up people. And these so-called real niggas, they just love being in gangs, and they love boasting about their crimes. Now, if you committed a crime, don't brag about it on social media. I mean, imagine if Charles Manson was still at large today. You think that he would just pull out an iPhone and say, hashtag, hey, I just killed Sharon Tate, hashtag, die, bitch. You really think that he would do that if she was still living and he was still, at large and stuff in this digital age? You really think he would do something like that? I'm pretty sure he would. But back to the subject. I just honestly hate it when somebody classifies himself as that, but actually it's just a translation as another so-called gangster, which is one of the reasons why the world sucks is gangsters and stuff. And I'm just so tired of it. And mainly this stuff just comes from modern hip hop of the day. Now, I don't mean to sound like that guy or sound like a hypocrite, because I do hate it when people say that metal makes murderers, which it doesn't. But I'm honestly being true about this hip hop part. And most of them, I mean, most of these so-called real niggas, they just love trying to be a wannabe hip hop artist, like trying to be like Ray Strum and trying to be every shitty modern hip hop artist of today that some people, probably you, the viewer that watches, ugh, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, they love beating up people, and also there are also these real niggas that roam around the school halls, basically thinking that they run everything. But as soon as the mother comes up, they're this good boy. They're this, hey, you're this good boy. I didn't do nothing like that. They act like that when the mom's around, but then once the little friends are there and stuff, they're just this so-called gangbanger that has been through the so-called streets, even though they've just like what walked through one block of the ghetto neighborhood and probably doesn't even know anybody there, but just a homeless guy, and that's it. And honestly, it's just sad. And some of them like to make fun of people who actually made it to college, because you know that these so-called realness, you know that they couldn't get that GED, they just couldn't get it. They didn't know how to go through school because they wanted to rebel and run schools and stuff. You know them. But the adult ones, the ones that are like young adults around 20 to 22, what are you doing with your life? I mean, you really think that gangbanging in the streets is really going to benefit you, especially if you're someone who just beats up on somebody just because you love violence. Because it seems that my race and other races are in love with violence, and it's something that happens in America because Americans love violence, even though as soon as they see it on TV, everybody protests against it. But as soon as they see it on social media, they laugh it up and just celebrate about it. But back to what I'm talking about. I honestly hate these types of people who classifies themselves as that. It's about as worse as girls calling themselves trap queens. It's worse than that. And there's no point of being this so-called real nigga who basically just beats up on people, shoots or traps, and does all these types of ghetto stuff. It's just not cool. Sure, maybe the people you hang around with who couldn't even read Goldilocks and the Three Bears without asking, hey, who's Goldilocks? Like, they probably wouldn't even make it past the first two pages. The first two. And it's a children's book. People like that, all these so called real niggas, they're basically just idiots. I mean, honestly, they had the reading skills of a third grader. I am telling you, in the vein of a third grader. They love making fun of nerds, but yet they can't even read a simple nursery rhyme. They couldn't even read Mary Had a Little Lamb or Baba Black Sheep. They couldn't read that without slipping up on a word or getting a word incorrect. And they try to use violence and stuff and dominance as their so-called key to prevent them from everybody else knowing that they have the brain of the average tangerine. And it's just so sad. And honestly, and once again, that these so-called real niggas will brag about their crimes. They'll just brag about it on social media, and they won't keep quiet, because from people who have been back then, probably in the 80s and 90s, like adults and stuff, ask them, because I've heard stories that gangs from back then used to keep stuff low key, like they used to keep it secret. But nowadays, since this is the digital age, they have to get it out there on social media, and then they end up locked up. And then once a so-called real nigga is locked up, everybody calls him that, saying, "Hey, here's the real nigga. He got locked up." So the dude is a hero for getting locked up because he wanted to be this overly ghetto stereotype. Wow. Just wow. Just fucking wow. I didn't know that a gangbanger in the streets is actually somebody who who's just like these young children are supposed to so-called glorify. Honestly, it's not. And and every time I even see an elementary schooler, I hope they don't try to become one of those so-called real niggas when they grow up. I really hope they don't become that because that's my fear. Because just seeing little kids not knowing that they'll just become like the teenagers that they see, that's a fear that some of us have, probably. But back to what I'm talking about. All I'm saying is that there's no point of just being this so-called real nigga or this thug person or this hood person in the streets. Because what these people don't realize is that they make prisons for us, well, mostly black people, when they're in the third grade. So while like a black child is in the third grade and stuff, they don't know what that. I mean, they don't know that they'll either be a gangbanger or they'll just continue to work in school because after third grade, everything just turns to shit. And I've seen this with my own eyes. So I don't want to hear anybody in the comments doubting me about that. But just all these so-called real niggas, they just love fighting people, getting these so-called trashy girls who are basically dumber than them and probably have more Botox injections than Nicki Minaj does in her ass. And that's just saying a lot. And I don't get why like these girls just fall for these guys. And some of these girls actually have this potential, like they actually have like singing talent and stuff. What are you doing hanging around with some guy who has the intelligence or the reading and the attention span of the average second, third, fourth, and fifth grader? I mean, I'm an elementary schooler, and the dude's a grown man. Just don't date that type of guy. But you know, they're gonna date Boo Boo the Fool, so I'm not surprised. And all of these real niggas just love killing people. They just love taking the lives of innocent people because you know, racist fit nigga. It's always that. It's always this so-called violence is fun. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Guns. It's sickening. And honestly, if this happen, I mean, if this stuff just keeps happening and this transitions to the 2020s, then I don't think I want to live on this planet anymore or even be alive to see this because I don't already, and this is just making it worse. So, with that said, I really hate people who classify themselves as that, and I hate the type of people who they are. So, this is the Rant Kid in peace.